What's poppin'? What's tea? It's your girl Mish, and I am here to give you guys my unfiltered opinion about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But before we get into this new episode, I kind of want to take a beak to the last episode because there's been a lot happening in this past week with that. So we left off at Jessica's event where she was doing her magazine cover, and that's when Spice decided that she wanted to fight Shekinah holding her back. Like, I'm just so tired of everyone trying to fight Rashida's battles. Like, Rashida does not want to talk to Jasmine because she feels like she shouldn't have to deal with it. But then you over here trying to battle for full custody, but you don't feel like you want to deal with the mother of the child that you want full custody for? Make it make sense. Because, like, how does that work? Anyway, so Spice feels like she wants to take up for Rashida. And to be quite honest, Rashida would not take up for any of these people, which we see in the next episode that's coming out next week, where she tells Yandy, like, oh, that was y'all's business. That don't got nothing to do with me. But that's neither here nor there. Spice sitting over here, causing a ruckus, trying to fight Jasmine. Shekinah holding her back because Shekinah is friends with Jasmine, I guess, or trying to be friends with Jasmine. I don't understand the whole dynamic. Now everybody want to be Jasmine's friend for a storyline because, you know, Kirk and Rashida really don't got nothing going on. So it seemed like they just threw Jasmine in this season for a storyline. And later on, like, you know, Spice had her beef with Santana because she said that, you know, Santana stink or whatever she said. No, let me backtrack. Santana was talking about how he told Spice to her face, I thought your cast album is clown-ish. And she was like, what you mean it's clown-ish? She's like, I feel like it's a joke and I'm a real artist. And Spice said, oh, baby, I got more streams than you, so what are we talking about? Let's run them numbers. And then I think in his confessional, Santana was like, oh, see how Spice at Jessica's party, she always with that messy-ish, blah, 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 blah. She always doing something. Spice comes out, and I'm going to insert the video. Spice comes out talking about, oh, Santana, you stink. You stink. That's why you got that fan, you blow the fan, the breeze. Don't come for me, child. I ain't Jamaican. I do my best. She said, you come, you got that fan, the breeze, the stench is blowing, you stink.
See, you, Sassy Santana, was sitting right there, so. Me never know. The amount of things me want to talk about you. You sit down in the big pink, you come like one big buckle of Pepto-Bismol. From me see you, me see diarrhea. From me see you, me see running a belly. You stink like shit, you come like pit toilet. You not smell yourself when you walk around with the fan and the fan a blow up on everybody. No one in the blood clot camp now gonna tell you, oh, you stink. Latrine. You come like pit toilet. Stop calling me blood clot name in your mouth. Sassy Santana, you stink, you want beard. Nobody on the show no want to tell you, oh, you stink. You have on the clothes them and the clothes them too tight. Squeeze up. You come like one big fucking stuffed turkey. Stop calling me name in your blood clot mouth. Because when me dey on the show, me talk Jamaican and them a delete out. When them a delete out, because them not understand. Make sure say somebody with Jamaican in.
One thing for sure, two things for certain. Don't come for no Caribbean person. The insults that they can rain upon your head top is crazy. Is crazy. And I love Spice. I listen. Spice is up there. She is like the Beyonce of Jamaica to me. Like, I always felt like Love and Hip Hop was too like low for her. I wish that like New York was still going. I feel like she would have done like so great in New York. I feel like she would have made like better connections in New York. You know, I feel like, you know, just the Caribbean community out there just to support her further. I feel like in Atlanta, yeah, there's Caribbeans in Atlanta, but not the way there is in New York or the DMV. Like, let's be so for real. Like, Vibes is doing his show. I hope she's gonna be there, to be honest, because, you know, they like, you know, the Beyonce and Jay-Z of Jamaica. So I hope Spice is gonna pull up. But yeah, I always just was like, if you watch my old videos, I've always said this, like, I just don't think that Atlanta was for Spice. Like, I feel like she wanted to tap into the Atlanta scene, the American music scene. So like, she's making those kind of connections. But girl, I feel like you should have went to New York. You should have went to New York. Cause the New York people, the African people like me, the Caribbean people, we would have stood 10 toes behind you, girl. In Atlanta, they be playing with you. But then also, I feel like Spice does a lot of TV-ish. Like, you trying to fight Jasmine's little scrawny little self for what? Because of Rashida? Be so for real, girl. Like, you can't tell me that's not for a storyline or for clout or like, yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, that's what happened. Last episode. That was like the highlight of last episode. Not only that, but Robin, Jessica's niece, basically was at Jessica's event, obviously, because that's her, auntie. And they were like questioning her about the Mendici situation, but we'll get to that later. So, anyways, we opened this episode with Kirk and Rashida basically getting Cannon's room ready. Rashida like, oh, I got a little cape pillow for Cannon. Ooh, yeah. I'm like, okay, they basically talking about how Jasmine want more money, and Rashida's like, yeah, she's not gonna get it. The best thing for us to do is just to get full custody, da-da-da-da-da. Rashida, be so for real. You want full custody of a child whose mother you have refused to speak to meet some sort of common ground outside of the courts? Babe, are you be so for real? Like, and it's like, we further move on. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that really pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But let's move on. Sierra and Rennie meet up to kind of hash out their issue. Honestly, the way everybody be having fallouts with Sierra, I really feel like Rennie is right. Like, Sierra, whenever she gets into her new little relationship, she be getting so caught up, and she be, having Sierra commotion. And, I feel like Sierra did not take any sort of accountability. She was like, well, if we really want to talk about who was there for who, when your mom passed, I was there for you, and you didn't ask me to be there for you. I said, oh no. And then it's like, Rennie brought it up too. She was like, Spice planned, my little baby, thing. And then I think Rennie's actual like real baby shower, she planned by herself without Sierra's help. I'm like, Sierra, did you even go to North Carolina for Rennie's actual baby shower? Let's talk about that. When she wanted me to godmommy, be so for real. And then she's like yelling. They're like yelling back and forth. They just end up realizing that they wasn't getting nowhere with that conversation. So I guess we'll rehash that out in the next couple of episodes. But yeah, I don't know. Sierra, she takes zero accountability, because it's like you keep falling out with every damn body. It can't be everybody. It gotta be you. Like, even you and Bambi had fallen out at one point. Now y'all just kind of like got back on track. Like, you be falling out with people that really look at you like you're their sister, like, and vice versa. Like, it can't be them, Sierra. It gotta be you. You gotta grow up, boo. You gotta take some accountability. Be like, you know what? I was wrong. I didn't show up for you in the way that I could have shown up for you. How do we move forward? Point blank, period. So we move on to One Music Fest. Everybody there. Kirk and Rashida there. Yanni Mendici's there. Sierra's there. Bambi's there. Everybody's there. But Santana's the only one performing. Santana's the only one on the bill. Okay, but Santana is basically like frustrated because they gave him an early set time. And, he's like, ain't nobody here. And you know what? This just makes me laugh, because this is legit the behind the scenes that like artists be doing, to where when we be at these concerts and these festivals, we be like, okay, it says so-and-so artist is going to be here at this time. Where is they at? It's hot outside. We be getting frustrated. Like, the lines be long to get water and all of that. Like, come on now. Just be on time. Like, I'm sure they paid you to be there. I know they paid you to be there, because you said, oh, I don't want to mess up my check. Okay, so yeah, Santana complained about that, but then he ends up going on, and I don't know how long the camera crew was at the event, but it's like I know some of these events be having 2 stages, that be the thing. So I'm like, they panned and it was empty, and when they panned back, it was like full. I'm like, what, y'all stayed at the event a little bit longer so you could like pan to the full crowd screaming like, it's giving production. It's giving production. Even though I know Santana bring the people out. I remember when Santana came to Baltimore, I did not go to that show. But yeah, Santana be bringing the people out for real. Santana's performance ended up going good. Sierra and Bambi ended up coming to his trailer just to kind of like check in on him, you know, see what's up with him, and basically talk about the whole Spice situation. And Bambi and Spice apparently now have beef. I don't remember when that started, but Sierra was like, yeah, like this Cat's album was some clown-ish. In the last episode, they were basically talking about how Spice kind of like told Amy that like, oh, Bambi's dissing you, so you need to change your verse. And then she told Bambi the same thing. Oh, Amy's dissing you, so this verse ain't gonna work. You need to diss her back. Basically, it's trying to like stir the pot. And I'm like, Spice, are you like, what are we doing? Like, do you want to be known for love and hip hop, or do you want to be known for your music? Because I feel like all this like messy like stuff that she's doing, I don't know how much the check is being cut, okay? But like it's just giving like TV-ish. Like, Jasmine Rod, which is Jasmine's boyfriend, or was Jasmine's boyfriend, right? And her mom all meet up to discuss the Kirk situation. So she basically letting them know like, yeah, she filed for more child support and Kirk counterclaimed for full custody. And Rod is like, how he finna do that? He's doing the bare minimum as a father right now. Like, Cannon calls me dad. He calls Kirk Yaya, and he really doesn't understand how he fits into Kirk's world. So why would he want full custody? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wondered the same thing. Like, I just don't see the ways that Kirk and Rashida really try to integrate, you know, Cannon with the rest of their kids. Like, I personally don't see that, or at least we've not seen it on screen. And even the way that Rashida's acting, it just further goes to show how I just don't think that they deserve full custody. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think they deserve full custody. And you know, they basically talk about that, and Jasmine is basically like, Rod has been the person, you know, stepping up, like he's the one who watches Cannon, he does this, he does that, like, so, but that's your ex. Like, I feel like Rod gives me like manly man. I was like, why the hell you get with Kurt? Like, I would have stayed with Rod. Like, Rod gives me stand up dude. Like, Rod would have been my baby father, not Kirk. So after that, Jessica is mad at Shekinah. Child, she mad at her because of the whole situation that happened at her magazine cover. But she meets up her niece to get the full situation on Mendices. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we gonna get there. Basically, the niece is basically explaining the situation, like, oh, she was at a club, her section was across from his section, and you know, I can't remember if she said that he walked up to her or like what really the interaction was. All she said was, when we interacted and I asked if he was married, he said it's complicated. Right. And then she had the receipts of the DM, like, real life scroll through the DM, like, Mendices, this is his page, verified, of the conversation that they were having. And, you know, so Jessica is just so passionate. She's like, I have to tell Yandy, you know, these girls talk. I want to hear from me. I don't want to hear from nobody else, which is completely understandable. So then Rod, being on his big man time as he should be, decides that he wants to meet up with Kirk to discuss to kind of mediate the whole Jasmine situation. And Kirk is basically like, she wants more money, but like he shows the receipts of the cash apps of like how much money he's been sending, you know, Jasmine. He's like, 4,500, oh, my car broke down, this and this and that. And so now Rod is feeling the type of way. He's like, well, Jasmine ain't telling me this. She told me that you feel like $1,000 a month is sufficient to take care of Cannon, which is not. I mean, like, let's just be so for real. Like, Cannon is the child of a celebrity. So he got to go to private school. Private school is not cheap. Private school's not cheap. And then it's like, also, you know, he needs like aftercare, like when Jasmine is working, because she works at the bar, like who's gonna watch him at night? Like, if not, you know, her mom or a friend or Rod or whoever, like somebody needs to be there to watch him. Like, there's all these things to where I just, baby, $1,000 a month ain't sufficient. I can't do nothing with $1,000 a month. I kind of feel stupid because Jasmine didn't tell him that Kirk be sending her money to do like miscellaneous things. So, I mean, we gonna see how that end up. So Rennie is basically like practicing. She's back in the studio. She's doing her thing. And so she's like in the warehouse thing with the stage. So she tells Saucy and Bambi to meet up with her because they want to check on Santana because they saw him post something, you know, cryptic or something about, you know, just him being in a situation where hands were thrown and he got beat up. So, well, you know, when they have this conversation with Santana, he's like, you know, we get so complacent with abuse. And, you know, I really feel like this is like what I like to see on Love and Hip Hop as far as like bringing awareness to certain issues. I feel like when we think domestic violence, we think a man and a woman. And he even said it, like he was like, people like sweep under the rug domestic violence when it comes to a man and a man, or like a woman and a woman, because it's like they feel like you guys are both equal. You know what I'm saying? Like and you know, it's just so crazy to even like think about it like that way. Like it's just ridiculous. Like I really sympathize with the DV victims. I don't care if it's male on male or male on woman or woman on woman, like all across the board, it should not happen. And, you know, I you know, appreciated, you know, like Rennie even telling her story, because this is what I feel like Love and Hip Hop should be about. There is somebody somewhere watching y'all and seeing y'all go through this, and they're gonna be like, wow, like no, this situation is not okay. Now let's jump back into what happened in this episode. This was like the main event. So Jessica walks in all her glory. Do you know, I always say this about Jessica. I think Jessica White is so flipping gorgeous. Like, every time I just look at her, she's so majestic. She may be a little cuckoo, but she's just everything. I remember, I think I said this in one video before, where back in the day, she used to sponsor this hair company. Like, she had this big curly hair. Like, and I used to always want to buy bundles from them, but I was like, the price of these bundles, and I'm like, ooh, I'm in high school. I can't be paying that much for some bundles. You know what I'm saying? I just always remember that. And then it's like, I think by the time I got to a point where I could actually afford the bundles from that company, the company was kind of like dissolved. I can't even remember the name. But like, I just remember Jessica, she had on like purple with this big curly like hair. I don't even know what it was, Burmese curly or something like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I need this hair. But yeah, her hair always is tea. Like, Jessica is just so pretty. Anyway, she walks in with this denim diaper. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like the way that it fit on her. It just looked like a denim diaper to Yandy's restaurant. And, you know, she gets there and she's like, she's so passionate. That's one thing I admire about Jessica. She's so passionate about her friends, so honest, keeps it real, whatever. So she tells Yandy, like, I really don't want to tell you, but like my niece have been texting Mendices, and she pulls up her receipts. And Yandy's so calm. She said, oh, what's her name? Oh yeah, that was me. I was the one that was messaging her. And she said, huh? She said, Yandy was like, oh, we were at this place. I think she said that Robin walked up to Mendices and was like, basically, you know, inquiring about him. And when she asked, was he married? He said, it's complicated. So Yandy, you're saying the same thing that Robin said. When Mendices was asked if he was married and you were in the vicinity at that, he told Robin that it was complicated. So we're saying the same story. Like, then I think she said that Robin said that she would DM Mendices, something along those lines or whatever. But then Yandy ended up reaching out to Robin first through Mendices' Instagram, and basically was like, hey. Robin responded back 3 days later and was like, hey. And Yandy acting as Mendices was like, oh, what took you so long? Like, I guess she felt that the interaction between Mendices and Robin was strange, to where like Mendices seemed nervous. So again, we're saying the same thing. You're just, anyways. So Yandy's like, oh, y'all about to stop playing with my husband, my man. I think her skincare and restaurant are like next to door to each other. So she goes to knock on the door of what I believe was her skincare business, and it's like, where my husband? Come out. And she like, yeah, they about to mic you real quick. And Mendice's like, no. My thing is, Mendices, you're on Love and Hip Hop. Why are you pretending like you're not on Love and Hip Hop? Like, why are you acting like you're the husband who's in the shadows and now they want to mic you and you're acting strange? And then he put on like shades, and I'm like, what is all of this drama about? Like, I'm so confused. But anyways, they mic Mendices up. Jessica, I think she just left Jessica sitting there. So Jessica was on her way out. Yandy calls Jessica over and is like, you know, telling the whole situation, apologizing to Mendices, like, oh, I went behind your back and I DM'd Jessica's niece, Robin. Remember the girl Robin? And, you know, Jessica jumps in and she was like, well, when you asked about your marriage, you should say that, like, y'all together. Like, what you mean? It's complicated. First of all, Yandy and Mendices, are they even married legally on paper? Let's talk about that. Because we all remember, and I think I said this in my last video, how it came out that they were never legally married because when he went to jail, she didn't want them to seize like her assets. So I'm like, at this point, like, are y'all legally married? I'm just saying, maybe that's why he's, you know, doing whatever he want to do. My thing is like, I don't know. Me personally, I be feeling like Yandy's like the breadwinner. Because what does Mendices do? Besides being on Love and Hip Hop, I know like the businesses are like obviously joint partnerships and whatnot. But baby, you was behind bars for what? Is it 6 or 7 years? You wasn't making no money. So I'm just saying, like, I personally would never go for a Mendices, would never go for a married man, period, but would definitely not go for a Mendices, would definitely not go for a Kirk. Like, wouldn't even go for let me cut it out. I wouldn't go for no married man, period. But Kirk, Mendices, job, like, I want y'all to have higher standards. I'm sorry. I want y'all to have higher standards. Okay? I wouldn't even go for a scrappy. Like, I don't feel like there's any man on this cast that I feel like would be worth going for. The only person that I really like take a liking to is Chaotic, but Chaotic can be chaotic. But I do like the growth from when Chaotic was on Love and Hip Hop Miami versus Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And speaking of Chaotic, we ain't seen him since the whole London situation. What's going on? Like, I feel like Chaotic is just like so good spirited. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I feel like now he's really in his bag as far as like, you know, endorsements, the YouTube, the all that. Like, but even then, like, Chaotic would be a friend. I like, who on this Love and Hip Hop cast would y'all go for? Because it's a no for every single one of them for me. Every single one. Because like Jessica said, like, I feel like Yandy's lying. And then Yandy, oh, I forgot to say, Yandy went on a tangent. She was talking to the camera. She was like, y'all trying to break up my marriage. Stop trying to break up my marriage. First it's this girl, now it's that girl. We are a happy home. Stop trying to break it up. Girl, if y'all was so happy, you wouldn't have to do all of this. Like, if Mendices was doing what he was supposed to do, instead of being at the bar at night, when y'all got 3 kids. Because I think Yandy got 2. And then Big Mendices, you know, lives with them as well. And then the daughter that she adopted. So 4? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. 4 or so kids that living in the house with you, because I haven't seen that adopted daughter in a long time, but I know Yandy's still like involved in her life. So 4 kids in the house with you, girl, Mendices need to be at home being a father. I get it, you was behind bars, but now it's time to get to the money, it's time to get to the businesses, focus on the businesses, focus on the money, focus on all of that. But no, you want to be outside at the bar doing this, doing that, not wearing your ring. Like, that really pissed me off last couple of episodes where Medicis was like, oh, I'm taking off the ring. I'm sorry. Yeah, Yanni better than me. When Manolito, when she said, I ain't holding no down, so you better not go to jail. I felt that. Because I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Not doing that. No. For what? No. No. So yeah, I'm like, Yandy's a better woman than most of us, because even Vibes lady, I think she had stepped out on him, but like Vibes Cartel was like, I get it. Like, because best believe the only person I respect and salute is Papoose, because that shit's not easy. Like, what? No, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm salute to the people that be holding down the men's and the ladies that be in jail, because it couldn't have been me. But yeah, y'all, what did we even see in the preview for next week? Child, I forgot. It wasn't really memorable. We saw Spice arguing with somebody. Spice arguing with Bambi. I do remember seeing that, talking about like, y'all always trying to make me the bad guy. Y'all always trying to make me the bad guy, blah, 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 blah. But like, I relate with Spice so much because, you know, I just feel like African Caribbean, we sisters. We wasn't the same. But one thing that I've realized is that like, when people are so hell-bent on playing victim, you cannot give them any sort of ammunition. And I don't even know what the situation is next week, but like, I just feel like if Spice were to just dial it back, just relax, speak to everybody in a calm tone without raising a voice, people would have less of a way to play victim. But it always seems like you're the one who's like antagonizing a situation. Like the situation with Jasmine, like that was so unnecessary. Like that was literally so unnecessary. Like I don't understand that at all. So yeah, child, that was Love and Hip Hop, child. That was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. That was Love and Hip Hop. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this week's episode in the comments, because it's just a lot going on. It's a lot going on. People were saying that they were shocked that Love and Hip Hop was still on. I need to even go watch the newest episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Maybe I'll do a video on that, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, we finna see what's finna happen next week with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I'm trying to be back on it. I know I just be falling off. I just be so out of it. Like, I don't know. Recently I've just become like so complacent with like a lot of things in life that I don't know. I think it's because I haven't been taking my vitamins. Like, I just be so out of it to do these videos. Like, I just be so out of it, which sucks because this is one of the things that I love to do, which is why I was doing it like from years back. But then I don't know, somewhere along this year, I just kind of like lost the motivation, and I'm like just now, you know, picking back up with everything. So yeah, guys, y'all finna see me next week talking about Love and Hip Hop. I don't know if I'm gonna do Miami or Atlanta next week, but one of the two. So stay tuned and let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to this video, and make sure you share this video so everybody can know what I think about Love and Hip Hop Unfiltered.